For some reason, members of the soul cluster have been in a space where they have been aligning with this energy of doubt. There has been this persistent energy of doubt that has come in the last couple of days to, I'm hearing, 7 days, okay? There's been something around you in a space of comparing yourself, or you in a space of not feeling like you are good enough, or you put in a time limit on when you're supposed to achieve a particular thing, or feeling like you can't achieve a particular thing or be where you want to be because you don't have certain tools and mediums, and feel like maybe you don't even know enough. Okay, there's something here about studying as well. Some of you are wanting to be in a space of studying but feel like you don't have the means to want to study. Some of you have been in a space of feeling like doubtful because of this comparison obviously off of your own perception of what you deem as successful and what other people are doing, which you're deeming as successful, and then obviously comparing where you're at. And Spirit is saying that when it comes to you being in a space of doubt and you feeling like you're not maybe where you want to be, or not in the vibration of knowing that you will get there eventually, you are exactly where you need to be at this pivotal point, right? There is a lot that's happening beneath the surface. There's a lot that's happening within the subconscious. Like, I'm even hearing that during sleep, times of sleep, you are literally in the astral schools. You are studying. You are doing your astral jobs. I'm also hearing that a lot of you have been going up into the healing pods. Some of you have been working with the energies of the Octorians, going into the healing chambers, healing certain aspects about you, restructuring your DNA, recalibrating your DNA, upgrading your chakras, learning more so that you can integrate it into the physical body, things of that nature, understanding your star origins and allowing more of that to be integrated into your physical reality, okay? Because those codes are beneficial now for the frequency that you're on. And with you bringing back through these frequencies, is helping you to elevate in your physical reality and hold a lot more of that energy so that you can manifest, and not just manifest, but you can carry out the tasks with the amount of energy that you would need in order to get those tasks or to fulfill that purpose that you are wanting to do. However, being in this space of doubt is also coming from the standpoint of I'm hearing information overload. Some of you have been in a space where you've had this thirst for knowledge, is what I'm hearing. And with this thirst for knowledge, it's like you want to study everything. You want to know about this, you want to know about that, you know, and for some of you it's like you don't know where to start. And it could even be with a trade, or it could even be with a passion of yours or a hobby of yours. There's so many hobbies you want to do and you're trying to do them all at once and you're not getting anywhere. It's because your focus is split. And you need to focus on one thing at a time, okay? Or if you have the capacity, maybe 2 things at a time, okay? And really just allow your energy to be channeled to those 2 or one particular thing. So it's like, it's really just like dabbling down and seeing, okay, what do you want to give your attention to most at this particular time that you know that you will flourish in, and that really brings your heart joy and really allows your heart to sing, okay? I'm also getting a flip side of this as well, where it's like there's a small group of you, okay? This is not going to resonate for everybody, but there is a small group of you who have acclaimed a certain level of success, status, okay? And with this status, with this success, there was a certain feeling that you had attached to this level of success or status when you had achieved it. And I'm seeing that some of you have either achieved and surpassed a huge milestone, whether it's in your career, your hobbies, your crafts, your venture, your business, whatever it is. Some of you have achieved a huge milestone, and the feeling that you had attached with this huge milestone or this huge achievement, the feeling you attached to it, you feel like you're not feeling it. You felt like when you achieved this, you would have been at, you would have felt a certain way, like you would have felt ecstatic, you would have felt like elated, you would have been like, you know, and that feeling isn't quite there. And what I'm hearing is that because I'm trying to, the channeling information, I'm trying to get the words right. Where you may have the financial riches and the financial status, there is still work to be done when it comes to your spiritual wealth and your spiritual status. And there is this needing to merge the both, okay? And the reason why for some of you where you have accumulated this particular status and don't have this feeling is because you was chasing a material goal that wasn't driven by purpose, okay? And some of you are now realizing that now that you've achieved this status, you're realizing, yeah, I've got the money, I've got the so-called respect, I've got the lifestyle, but something's still missing. I don't feel fulfilled. My heart doesn't feel elated. I don't feel purposeful. I don't feel like you're making a difference to others with what it is that you're doing. It's almost as if the servitude that you thought you would feel, but maybe you didn't deem it as servitude, okay? The servitude that you thought you would feel by achieving a certain thing, you are not feeling that feeling. And that's because it was self-fulfilling, if that makes sense. It wasn't necessarily to serve others, is also what I'm hearing, okay? But there's just something here about you've helped some of the people that are closest to you with said issues materialistically, and some of you are even finding that with you helping these individuals, it's like the respect that you would have thought you would have got from them, you're not getting anymore. It's more like you're noticing people are just wanting more handouts because they know that you have it, or people are more willing to communicate with you because of your status. And it's almost as if you feel more lonely, and this is where the doubt comes in, more lonely and doubtful about who you are and the role you play in other people's lives, because people are not seeing you for who you truly are. They are seeing you for the achievements that you have achieved and the successes that you have got under your belt, and you know that those achievements and those successes are not your identity. But now you're on this kind of slippery slope where you're sliding between who you truly are just for the fact that you merely exist and who you truly are through your achievements. And those two identities are kind of merging. I hope I'm making sense. It's like you're constantly switching between the identity of identifying as your achievement and success, or identifying as you just being a human who is merely existing, and that is enough. And because you're having that identity challenge, okay, and difficulty at the moment, is causing you to be doubtful. It's causing you to be doubtful in the sense of, am I really passionate about this thing now that I've got all these achievements in? Was I passionate about it to begin with? Was it something that I really wanted to do? Or is it because I went through said situation, or said person doubted me and I needed to prove a point? Or, well, I needed to help my family and this was the quickest way I could make money? Or it was, all my friends were doing it and I just so happened to fall into it, and because people saw I was good at it, I just kept going, and I knew it was going to give me financial stability. And now that you're at this point, all of these doubts are coming up, and it's almost as if you achieving this success or this status, and it might be something small. It doesn't have to be millions. It doesn't even have to be thousands. Okay, it could simply just be that you hit a long-term milestone for yourself, and it hasn't given you that feeling that you had attached to it that you thought you would feel. You still feel, though I'm hearing, empty. And now this is posing all of these questions, which Spirit is saying is a beautiful thing. And this whole journey that you have been on to get to this point has been valid. None of it has been wrong. None of it was a mistake. You had to go through this. And in fact, you chose to go through this. Your soul chose to go through this, because what's happening now is you are going through, I'm hearing, an identity crisis, which in turn is going to help you to start to pick up certain pieces of your life and start putting them back together as a puzzle piece. Because I feel like there's been a whole situation that's taken place, and it's literally like your life. Imagine a puzzle board, someone literally destroying that puzzle board, and you're having to put all of those puzzle pieces back together. And it's like the puzzle pieces they're showing me is your identity. It's like the puzzle board was like of a face, and that is your face, and now it's been completely destroyed, and now you're having to rebuild and put that back together. But with you putting it back together, it's like you're being more attentive. There is more passion going back into, who you identify as, and building from the foundation of you being a human being and you merely existing, and what that entails, what that looks like, and how you can get people to see more of that, as opposed to seeing you as your achievements and as your success, right? So they're giving me example of, like, say your name might be Damien, but just say Damien the let's say, I don't know, franchise owner. Okay, you could own a franchise, and that's all everyone just refers to as, oh yeah, that's Damien, the franchise owner. Like, that's not like Damien, my brother, or Damien, my friend. It's like, yeah, Damien, it's attached with an achievement, it's attached with a material goal, and there's a fly in here. Don't ask me how I got in here, but it's in here, okay? So I do feel like that, and it's funny I say that as I'm talking about people, how they perceive and how they talk about you, right? So people really, when they do bring you up, they bring you up in the sense of your achievement. That's what they talk about. This person's done so well for themselves, and so on and so forth. And at first, I feel like this is something you was happy about. I feel like this was something that, you prided yourself in. But when you started to see that a lot of people started to refer to this as your identity, and I'm also hearing it was triggered by certain conversations where when you're having conversations with people, all they ever want to talk about is your achievements and what's next for you, and what do you plan to do next, and how are you spending your money, what are you investing in. Like, no one's not really asking you the questions of, oh, how are you feeling emotionally, what have you been going through, how have you been feeling, what's been going on with you. It's very much work related and stuff like that. And I'm hearing that that's had like punctures to your spirit. It's almost as if like it's been depleting you, and it's kind of causing you to have like a go into shutdown mode, or go into burnout, or even going into a space where you don't want to speak to nobody, you don't want to interact with nobody, you don't want to even express yourself anymore, because your expression is mainly around like your work and things of that nature. And what Spirit is saying is that this is a perfect opportunity to eradicate those doubts about, yourself, and really start to build from the ground up. All of the information and all of the answers you truly need is within you. And I feel like this is the time where you have to sit with yourself and really just like speak to that source energy, that higher power within you, and be like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I need the signs for this. How can I do this? Because sometimes, to be honest, not all the answers are on the outside of you. Majority of them are within you. Do you understand? And the only reason we feel like they're on the outside of us is because we are the vessels projecting the information we have within us outwardly, if that's to our choosing, which is why there is so much opinions and perceptions, and why people resonate with certain things that people say, and then they don't resonate with things other people say. So it's like you really going inwards, and you can do this through journaling. You can do this by Even just having someone to hold space and you speak to, trusted, obviously a trusted person. So there's things of nature, there's things of that nature, or even, going into things like coaching and counseling. But I do feel like this is something your ancestors are helping you with. Okay. Moths are significant because I've got a moth in here. I thought it was a fly, but it's actually a moth. So that's very significant. Okay. So you could have like ancestors that are helping you with this, because this could be something that is also ancestral in some type of way, I don't know how, but there is something here where it's linked to like an ancestral happening that needs to happen. It's literally flying around me. Is that ancestral like happening, or something that needs to come to light, or they're trying to birth something and also release something through you that is tied to this. And I think I'm hearing that with the ancestral aspect, it's like tied to identity. It's tied to the aspects of people that have come before you wanting to achieve certain things but not feeling good enough, right? And I feel like it's like a double-sided coin, a double-edged sword, a bittersweet experience, because for some of you this is financial, like you financially freed yourself, and this is something that has been a generational pattern that you've broken. But on the flip side of that, you're not experiencing the ancestral aspect of another curse, where it's like this self-doubt, not feeling good enough, even though you have achieved the material success that society says that you're supposed to achieve. Okay. So this is very, very ancestral, which is why I'm saying like you haven't done anything wrong. It's just for you to just be in this space now of really just sitting with yourself and sitting even with the ancestors and speaking to them and finding out, okay, like how you're about to start navigating. And some of you have had the promptings already. Some of you have maybe been in a space. I'm hearing someone downsizing their house, or I don't know if some of you are in the limelight, because I feel like some of you are. Some of you may be deciding to step away from the limelight for a little bit. I'm hearing someone's you taking a sabbatical, or taking like a year off, or maybe even 6 months, however long. But there's something here about you doing a retreat, like retreat into self, or you physically going on like a retreat, okay, or you move into a different state, city, or country, for a set amount of time, so that you can really just be with your thoughts. And I feel like some of you, this doubt as well is coming from the aspect that you've got a lot of like people around you talking to you and being in your ear, and sometimes they're like your second opinion, or they're your second perspective. So you haven't really had the chance to really like be in a space of seeing things from your own perspective, and really like being in that solitude. Okay. All right. I don't know why, but I'm hearing the name Layla. I'm sure I got the name Layla yesterday, but I'm hearing the name Layla. Okay. So, but there is that aspect of like you choosing to just like retreat. I'm also hearing a cottage. So some of you are choosing to move away from the big city and maybe go and live in a cottage somewhere, something like that. Okay. But you, like I said, you haven't done anything wrong, and there's just energy about just sitting with yourself. And I feel like this is deepening like your spiritual knowings as well. Is deepening your spiritual aspects and your spirituality as a whole. Do you understand? It's like helping you to dive deeper into your mental space, your emotional space, your physical space, and seeing how you can merge them. And really I'm hearing like anatomy, okay, as well. So some of you could be in the medical field, some of you could be into like herbs, a dietitian, physician, things like that, psychiatrist, things of that nature, but it's like the anatomy of the mental planes. Like you're learning about the mental, emotional, physical, astral planes as well. So it's like you're really diving into a deeper part of your spirituality, if you even have a spiritual basis at all. Okay. And this is being prompted by spirit, this is being prompted by your soul, your soul essence. It's like you're diving deeper into another layer of you, and that's where the doubt is coming from. So don't be in a space of comparing yourself. Be open to just listening to your own perspective. Try not to take in so much information at this time, you know. And this could also, I'm hearing from spirit, this could be an addiction as well, where you are constantly consuming, because there's so much information out there. Some of it might resonate with you, some of it might not, but just remember, with all the information that's going around, every part of the information holds a little bit of the truth. However, the determining factor of what is really true to you is what resonates with you at your core, and what you choose to investigate, and what is something that is of a repeating essence. So if it keeps repeating to you and it feels sure and it feels right to you, then in that moment it will be right to you. But information and your truth is constantly changing at different states and at different times. So what might ring true to you in one moment can very much be discarded as false for you in another. So that's why spirit is saying, like, you have to know and have discernment about the information you're taking in. And I think for right now, maybe you've taken in a little bit too much information, and you're needing to just be in this space of just sitting in solitude and really just hearing your soul speak. And those answers of the truth that you are seeking will be revealed to you. I was going to say revered, but revealed to you in the moments of solitude, okay? And things of that nature, all right? And things will start to spiral, things will start to come together, and things will be brought to you that you know is divinely inspired. And you know, it's like, okay, this has been brought to me for a reason, and I need to pay attention to this. And once you start doing this, you will start to notice that your reality will start to shift, and people will start looking at you different. And you will start to see that people are going to start seeing you for who you truly are. But first, you need to align with who that is, okay? Outside of the achievements and the material success and things of that nature, okay? So I bless that message resonates. My name is Itching because that channel was strong. I bless that rest. Maybe some of you need to rest as well, because you've literally been overdrive, thinking, analyzing, thinking. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I bless that resonates, and I will see you guys in the next message. Love ya.